All right, let's talk about China and technology. Specifically, how China seems to be in the midst of a trial separation with US tech. It's about microchips, 5G, AI, the kind of stuff that'll shape the future. And China's decided that future is going to be less made in America and more, well, made in China. So what's driving this technological decoupling? Let's dive into the key reasons behind this strategic shift. Remember when everyone was losing their minds over Huawei? Well, that whole debacle was a clear sign that things between the US and China were getting frostier. The US and China have been locked in this trade war for what feels like an eternity. The US has been slapping sanctions on Chinese tech companies like Huawei, claiming national security concerns. But China's not backing down. They see these sanctions as an attempt to stifle their technological rise. This trade war is pushing China to double down on its own tech industry, to become self-reliant and less vulnerable to the whims of American foreign policy. Let's be honest, when it comes to data, both the US and China are basically those friends who show up to your party, eat all the snacks and then borrow your favorite sweater on their way out. They love data, they collect data, they probably have entire databases dedicated to analyzing your most embarrassing online searches. The US is pointing fingers at Chinese companies like Huawei, claiming they're cozying up to the Chinese government and sneaking backdoors into their tech. China, meanwhile, is side-eyeing US tech giants, muttering about the NSA and their penchant for collecting data. The truth is, in this digital age, data is power, and both China and the US are determined to be the ones holding the password. Remember that Made in China 2025 plan everyone was talking about? It's actually China's ambitious plan to become a global tech superpower. The goal is simple: dominate key technologies like semiconductors, 5G networks, artificial intelligence, and cloud computing. China's tired of playing second fiddle. They want to write the rules, set the standards, and maybe even invent the next iPhone. This push for tech sovereignty is about more than just national pride. It's about economic security and strategic influence. The point is, China's playing the long game and they're playing to win. Now, you don't become a tech superpower by just wishing it really, really hard. It takes a lot of brain power, a sprinkle of genius, and a whole heap of cash. Luckily for China, they've got the cash part down pat. They're pouring billions into universities, research institutions, and tech startups. One of their main focuses is the semiconductor industry, which is basically the foundation of all modern electronics. With the amount of money they're throwing around, they might just succeed. You know those friends who are obsessed with supporting local businesses? Well, that's basically China with their tech companies right now. They're going all in on promoting homegrown tech giants like Huawei, Alibaba, Tencent, and Baidu. These companies are being groomed for greatness, showered with government support and favorable regulations. The goal is to create national champions that can compete with and eventually surpass their American counterparts. It's like watching a group of highly motivated underdogs slowly take over the world, one smartphone, one e-commerce platform, one social media app at a time. You know that saying, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger"? Well, the US might want to ponder that for a bit. By banning the export of advanced semiconductor technology to China, the US thought they were putting a stop to China's tech ambitions. These restrictions have only fueled China's determination to become self-reliant. They're investing heavily in their own semiconductor industry, pouring billions into research, development, and talent acquisition. The US might have hoped to slow China down, but instead they've inadvertently kick-started a technological arms race. So what does this all mean? Well, for starters, buckle up, because we're in for a bumpy ride. China's tech ambitions are reshaping the global landscape, and the aftershocks are being felt everywhere. Supply chains are being rerouted, alliances are shifting, and the competition for technological dominance is heating up. China's push for tech independence is about more than just building cool gadgets. It's about securing their place in the world. The future is unwritten, but one thing's for sure: China's holding the pen and they're writing it in binary code.